the integral of e to the 5x, we have to use u substitution. So let's set u as 5x, and the derivative of that is equal to 5. And let's rearrange everything. So dx is equal to du over 5. And now let's substitute everything. So we have e to the u. Dx here will be replaced with du over 5. So du over 5. And the integral of e to the u is simply e to the u. Don't forget the over 5 and the plus c constant. And now our final step is to replace the u. So that'll be replaced as 5x. So e to the 5x over 5 plus c. And here is our final answer. In our next example, we have x times e to the x to the power of 2. So let's use u substitution again. So let's try to use u is equal to x squared. And then let's find the derivative of that. So the derivative of that is equal to 2x. And let's rearrange everything. So du over 2x is equal to dx. And now let's try to substitute everything. So we have x times e to the u, and dx will be replaced with du over 2x. du over 2x, and the x's cancel out nicely. And this gives us the integral of e to the u over 2. So the integral of e to the u over 2 is e to the u over 2 plus c. And now let's replace the u value. So u is equal to x squared over, everything's over 2, and plus c. And here is our final answer. Next example, we have x times e to the x. So you can't really use u substitution here, so we'd have to use integration by parts. So let's split it into u and v prime. So u will be equal to x, and v prime will be equal to e to the x. The derivative of x is equal to 1, and the antiderivative of e to the x is e to the x. And now let's use our integration by parts formula. So we have u times v, so this is equal to x times e to the x minus the integral of u prime times v, so e to the x. And the integral of e to the x is e to the x. So let's write everything down. And here is our final answer. Example, try to pause the video and do this by yourself. So think of what integration technique you guys would try to use. So let's try to use u substitution. And let's substitute 1 plus e to the x. So u is equal to 1 plus e to the x. And the derivative of that will simply be e to the x, because 1 is a constant, and the derivative of that will be equal to 0. And now let's rearrange everything. So we have du over e to the x equals to dx. So now let's substitute everything. So we have the integral of e to the x over u, and then dx is simply equal to du over e to the x. And the e to the x cancel out. And now we're left with the integral of 1 over u du. And the integral of 1 over u is simply ln absolute value u plus c. And then now we simply have to substitute our u value. So our u value here is 1 plus e to the x. So this is equal to ln absolute value 1 plus e to the x and plus c. And here is our final answer. We have e to the x over 1 minus e to the 2x. So this could be rewritten as the integral of e to the x over 1 minus e to the x, and all of this is to the power of 2. So let's try this, and let's try to use u substitution here. So let's set u equals to e to the x, and the derivative of that is simply e to the x. So now let's rearrange everything. So we have du over e to the x, which is equal to dx. And then now let's substitute everything. So we have the e to the x over 1 minus, and since we have e to the x set as u, we can set u and then u to the power of 2, because we have a power of 2 over here, and dx will be replaced with du over e to the x, and the e to the x will cancel out. And now we're left with the integral of 1 over 1 minus u to the power of 2. And if you use some basic algebra, we know that 1 over 1 minus u is equal to the integral of 1/2 times 1 over 1 plus u plus 1 over 1 minus u. And this method is the partial fraction method when it comes to solving integrals. And now we just have to find the integral of 1 over 1 plus u and 1 over 1 minus u. So we have 1/2 times, and the integral of 1 over 1 plus u is ln absolute value 1 plus u plus ln, so now let's do the second part. So ln absolute value 1 minus u and plus a c constant. And now finally we just substitute u for e to the x up here. So our final answer is 1 over 2 times ln absolute value 1 plus e to the x absolute value plus ln, and then absolute value again, 1 minus e to the x, absolute value, close it off, and plus c. And here is our final answer.